what led me to kind of where the industry is today um, is was this interesting point in time, and I think it was around 2010. And so I began getting pretty frustrated with how I was building my personal websites, websites for family members, and how these websites were maintained and all of the challenges there. And so a lot of the things that I'm interested in and do come from just scratching an itch. And so around 2010, 2011, had a bunch of sites and they're on WordPress and probably shared hosting or something like that. And I was getting frustrated about how these websites tend to just get hacked. And why are they costing me money every month to host? And why do I need to why do I need to remember 5 sets of credentials, for cPanel, for WordPress, for whatever, to be able to go in and patch things and update and like why am I dealing with all of this? And it's not that I had like a some sort of deep perspective on it. It was just didn't make sense. And and a couple of things happened. I started noticing these websites don't get updated too often. And I was like, why are we putting them on a server that's just like, it's going for this elaborate dance, but it's the exact same dance every time someone visits the site. WordPress comes up, it hits the database, it goes here, it formats this, it outputs that, and ta-da, same thing. So in terms of just like efficiency, that didn't make too much sense either. And so that was happening, and one of the WordPress websites I was helping maintain was having kind of like constant hacking going on. And one day I bump into this blog post by Werner Vogels, the CTO of Amazon, back when AWS was like a very small piece of Amazon. And he's like, "Hey, we are introducing the ability to host websites from S3 buckets." And I'm like, "Yes, this makes so much sense." I haven't thought about static sites up until then, but that single blog post put me on this trajectory of realizing that these websites can really be static. And it didn't really get me thinking about static site generators, but that kind of showed up later because, well, how do you modify these websites? And so the first thing I did is I took my personal WordPress-based website, took a snapshot of it with like I was on Windows at the time. I downloaded this tool, just downloaded the entire website to my computer, and I threw it on an S3 file, mapped the domain. I'm sorry, to the S3 bucket, mapped the domain to the S3 bucket, and like I have a website, and it costs almost nothing. It is literally, I cannot imagine how it could get hacked, or it would require basically someone stealing my AWS credentials. And it's super fast. You visit it, it loads. So it was very, very exciting. And that got me, a month later, though, after the excitement kind of faded away, I was like, well, how do I edit this website? I mean, I want to create a new blog post. And so that didn't take me to the world of elaborate content management systems. It actually got me on this path of I'm going to recreate my website as a single HTML file, and it's going to be very simplistic. And this is how, and the way I'm going to edit it is I'm going to download this file from S3 to my computer. I'm going to edit it in Notepad or some IDE, and then upload it with CyberDuck. And I was kind of like very excited that I figured that out. And those were the days of like Prose Mirror, which was a Markdown editor that could edit Markdown files in GitHub, and all of that started kind of evolving. And I was certain that something is going to happen with all of these kind of moving pieces. Jekyll was happening, suddenly it's 2013, 2014, and at some point in 2015 or 2016, I was like, I want to do something in this space, but I don't know what to do. But I'm going to start playing with this more concretely because up until then, I was a user and a consumer. I want to see if I can build a tool. And the tool that I wanted to build was basically I want an easy way to edit files in S3 because I was having HTML files in S3, and I was like, can I write a thin layer of JavaScript that would sit within my website and um, without a server involved, would let me interface with S3. I'm looking on my website or on some backend. Um, S3 has a JavaScript API. So make an API call to S3, get the content, provide some sort of editing experience for it, and then write it back to S3 directly from that interface. And so you can think about it like a headless CMS for S3. And and that got me on the path to telling people that that's what I'm doing and reading more about it. And one day I bump into a blog post by Matt Billman, the co-founder and CEO of Netlify, who's talking about all of these trends kind of converging. And the static sites, the benefits of the speed, the benefits of the security, the idea that front end is getting built. There's a CI/CD pipeline for front end. The idea that we can author and publish websites by relying on Git workflows of committing and merging and pushing and so forth. Um, and I was, I was fortunate to connect with the Netlify folks and get involved early on, and see the Jamstack term, be coined, and kind of become an avalanche that just captured the imagination of millions of developers who were annoyed by the same kind of things, the complexity of setting up and maintaining hosting for a website, the challenges with security of software like WordPress, and the challenges of performance with websites that get rendered on the back end every time you visit them, and versus just hosting a website from a CDN. And so here we are, 2021, soon to be 2022. The world is in love with Jamstack, and modern web tooling is redefining itself. Yeah, I'll talk forever, so you have to stop me. So I'm gonna pause right now.